Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So like with Ethereum, I'm watching if this move down is already over and if we are pushing higher here. Remember, we reached here this target range that we did measure at the time. We talked about the 1.618 FIB extension at the time, and it was basically reached here around 35 cents. So it was enough to fulfill the requirements of this C wave of 2. Would have liked to see a clearer 5-wave pattern, but sometimes you don't get it and it's hidden in the smaller time frames. So I'm watching now with this move to the upside, which was quite a strong turnaround, similar to what we did here, if we now can push higher. So looking at the subwave structure here, we could suggest that we are now in this third wave here that we talked about before, so that we understand this as a 1-2 setup. That is still the case. Nothing has changed. Actually, that price action from yesterday rather confirms that this, and we would be looking at 44.8 cents ideally as a target for this third wave. Of course, this third wave isn't gonna move in one straight line. It's made up of subwaves, so we are now looking for 5 waves here. This for me is only a 3-wave structure. We might currently be working on the 4th, and I would expect a 5th wave if certain supports are holding now. And what is the key support level for the 4th wave? You know that we're talking here about the area between the 38.5% FIB level and the 50% FIB level. So yeah, ideally this should not drop any lower. We've got 37 cents here, which is the 50% FIB level, but let me just adjust that. That was not correct, so it's here. But it's still 37.05 cents. We have not yet touched it, but we basically need to turn around now imminently. A sustained break below the 50% retracement will weaken this chart, which doesn't mean it couldn't still go up, but it would not be in an impulsive fashion. We could then explore if it is a diagonal pattern, but as a diagonal, the chart always needs to give us proof, which means what we need to see is the 5th wave to the upside and then 3 waves down. I mean, if this is this already the 3rd wave or not, we'll see, but it could also be the 1st wave of the 3rd, depending on how high this will go. That's not so important at this stage. Important would be to maintain this count, and to get a proper 5th wave in an impulse, it needs to turn around before it drops below 37 cents. Again, if it drops a bit lower, it could still work out as a diagonal pattern, but then it needs to prove it by coming down in 3 waves, and then we've got a 1-2 setup. Or yeah, if it's a diagonal, it can't be the 3rd wave, but it could be the 1st wave of the 3rd, for example. So I'm observing that, and then yeah, when do we have the first evidence that this 5th wave here of the 3rd is running? It would be if we break above the 38.9 cent level. Or actually the very first piece of evidence here, if we get above 38.35, because we could see this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave in wave 4. And yeah, let me label that A, B, C, and then it should, yeah, if it turns around imminently, if we get a break above that B wave high, that would be the first indication that things are turning around. Do we see any divergences here? Probably not yet. No, not yet. That's sometimes something that can give us a hint. If we see in this structure here, maybe a some kind of a divergence, that the downtrend is slowing down, the momentum is slowing down. Don't really see that yet, not on the RSI, and however here on the MACD, but this is the 15-minute chart only. We see a bullish crossover possibly coming here on the MACD. That would suggest possibly a turnaround here. But if you add a pattern here, then you can see that this could be understood as a descending wedge. We've got something similar on the Ethereum chart, not broken out yet, but if we break out, actually that might be the very, very first piece of evidence that things are moving higher. And then depending on how high we go in this 5th wave, we might either get an extended 5th, or we just need to look at the sub counts here of this structure, because I just gave you a key target for the 3rd wave. So unless this overall fifth wave unfolds as a diagonal, we need to reach here the 1.618 extension around 44 cents for that third wave. But again, I can't rule out that all of this is unfolding as some kind of a diagonal pattern. But the view is, against this low of 34.7 cents now, we can focus on higher. Yeah, so short term, we shouldn't drop below that 50% retracement I gave you. But then also, working support is 35.2 cents and then 34.7. And then we could still focus here on higher. Of course, this could all still be part of some kind of a corrective wave structure. And we are, eventually already in the wave 2 here, that we have some kind of a complex A, B, C correction. But at the moment we can follow higher as long as these support levels are holding that I mentioned. Okay, and that's my update about ADA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.